All right, what if I told you there's a powerful, and honestly a pretty counterintuitive way to stay calm when everything is hitting the fan? We're not just talking about everyday stress. We're talking about a protocol used by people who are trained for the most intense situations you can possibly imagine.
Yep, you heard that right. This technique we're going to break down comes straight from the world of intelligence. Think about it. Agents trained for high-risk ops, intense interrogations, they absolutely need something that works instantly, physically, when the stakes couldn't be higher.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. See, most of us, myself included, we think that managing fear or anxiety is this huge mental battle, right? It's a fight we have to win inside our own heads. But what if that whole idea is just wrong?
And that brings us to the big idea behind this whole thing. Fear isn't born in your thoughts. It starts in your body. So to really get a handle on it, we first have to find its physical trigger.
So here's the key takeaway. That feeling of panic, being completely overwhelmed, that's a physiological response first. Your body is screaming danger at your brain. And we often try to fix it with our minds, telling ourselves to just calm down. But we're basically trying to put out the fire by yelling at the smoke. We're starting at the wrong end of the problem.
The entire protocol, the whole shebang, hinges on controlling one specific muscle. This single point of control is like a switch. It dictates whether your body stays on high alert or shifts into a state of calm. And I'm willing to bet it's not the muscle you think it is.
That's it, your jaw. Kind of wild, right? This simplicity is what makes this so incredibly powerful. The key to shutting down your body's fear response is hiding in plain sight in this one often ignored spot. And this is the fail point for so many of us. I mean, just think about it for a second. When you get stressed or anxious or even just angry, what's one of the first things you do without even thinking? You clench your jaw. That physical act just reinforces the danger signal being sent to your brain, and boom, you're trapped in a feedback loop of fear.
So the big question is, how do we break that loop? Well, that brings us to the 3-step physical protocol. This is your practical, simple guide you can use anytime, anywhere to get back in the driver's seat.
Okay, 3 simple steps. First, the jaw release. You just consciously let your jaw hang loose. Just let it go completely slack. Second, your breath ratio. You want to focus on making your exhale longer than your inhale. A slow, long exhale really kicks in your body's relaxation system. And third, eye softening. Instead of that laser focus you get when you're stressed, widen your gaze. Take in your peripheral vision. This tells your brain there's no immediate threat to focus on.
Now let's dig into the science here, because understanding why this works is what makes it stick. This isn't some kind of mind trick. You're literally working with your nervous system's wiring, not fighting against it.
It all comes down to something called the facial nerve feedback loop. This idea comes from polyvagal theory, which is really just the science of how our bodies and brains talk to each other about safety and danger. Your face is constantly sending these little status updates to your brain. So a clenched jaw is sending a constant text message that says, danger, stay on alert.
So when you consciously do that first step, just releasing your jaw, you're physically cutting off that danger signal. You're sending a new, much louder message straight to the base of your brain that says, all clear, we are safe. And that gives your entire nervous system permission to stand down.
So let's wrap this all up. What this really gives you is a new default setting. It's about shifting from that exhausting mental fight to a super simple physical fix.
Think about it. The old way is a mental wrestling match, right? You try to argue with your own feelings. You try to think your way out of it. And usually, you just end up spiraling even more. The new way? It just bypasses that whole mess. Use a simple physical action, letting your jaw drop, to send a direct "you are safe" signal to your brain. It creates calm from the body up, not the mind down.
And that right there is the most important thing to remember. The next time you feel that wave of pressure or anxiety start to rise, don't start a fight in your head. Start with your body. Start with your jaw. Because real instant calm isn't something you think, it's something you do.